So now that the HTML is mostly formatted, what we want to do is just go ahead and start our styling. So I'm just going to click on the styling tab here. And first, before we do anything else, we already have kind of these basic settings that we had applied earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and do more general settings just to, make it look a little bit better. So if you remember, we had these colors here. So I have this text color section. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my text color. And I'm just going to grab up to color here, Control C, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it here, Control V. And I had written it out correctly, so I don't have to do anything else to it. And then we're also going to put it here, Control V. And now all my text has the correct color. Woo! We also have this background color that I need to apply. So I'm going to grab this, Control C. And then I don't want to put it on this one because it's also going to put it on the P's and the Q's. Mind your P's and Q's. That was an unintended pun, but it's I like it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go and just do it to the body in general and just do, don't mind that. I don't know what I'm doing. I hit a bunch of buttons. Don't hit a bunch of buttons. Control V, like that, okay? And so basically I just took the background color that we were going to do and we're going to save that. And I will view my page and preview, and you can see, voila, right? There we go. Looking so great. Okay. But now we have like the basic fonts and the basic text colors all applied. So that's good for that. All right. Now what I want to do is actually start affecting the nav bar look itself. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do this in a new section because this is kind of my basic section. Then we're going to do a nav bar section. So we're going to go nav bar. And I'm just going to say I want the background color. So I'm just using the classes that are already built in here. So you see there's one called nav bar. And all of the nav elements are built into that. So that's where I'm getting nav bar from. Okay, so the class, it's a bootstrap class, but we can just put ours in there. So we're going to go ahead and do background hyphen, and then I'm going to use my primary color here. So I'm just going to grab this, Control C, and Control V. And since, that ends with the background color. Woo! Okay. I'm just going to enter, and then we'll do the nav bar dash nav. Okay. And this you may or may not want to do in general, but just do it now so you can do it, is that you can see all my nav features are over here. You might want them centered. So to do the centering, we have to do it to nav bar nav, which is actually going to do the actual nav sections here. It's like the actual middle section. So it's not actually going to apply to this. It's just going to be these inside pieces. Okay, so normally this will be like an icon or something, and usually that stays in the left. So we're only going to affect these. I didn't want to affect that. So that's why I'm doing nav bar nav, because that's the actual unordered list. That's what this is attached to. So to do that, we're going to do margin left auto, and then we'll do margin hyphen right auto, like so. Okay, and we'll just save that and let preview it. And you're going to see that now it's got the color, and those are now centered, right? Just like we wanted. So, yay. All right. So, go like that. Now let's go ahead and actually change the colors, because you can see these are like this ugly. I mean, I don't know if it's ugly, but it definitely don't work with what we have. So, we need to change our actual links and stuff. So, that's going to be nav hyphen item dot nav hyphen link. And then it's going to be the same thing again. I'm just going to copy this so I don't have to write it all again. Control V. And then, take off this part, and we're going to do visited. Okay. So the reason I got to do nav item, nav link, and then nav item, nav link visited is because if we go to here, so the nav item is the list that it's in, and then the link is the actual link itself. The more specific that you can get, the more likely you're going to actually override something. And since we didn't take any of these classes out, they're going to have the formatting from Bootstrap. So I have to be very specific. So if I just did nav link by itself, it might not affect it. But by saying look inside the nav item, and then in the nav item, when you put a space, that means you're putting a child of it. Look for nav link, and then I want you to do the link. So if you remember, these are pseudo classes where they have the link and visited. So link is the default look of the link, right? So my hyperlink, and then visited is once you've clicked on it and you go back, it's what it looks like. I don't like the visited to look different than the link because I think it looks weird. I mean, I understand why people do it, but so I'm leaving it the same. So I'm just doing both of them at the same time by putting a comma. I'm applying it to 2. Okay. So let's go ahead and add our color to this. So I'm going to do, what was I going to do for this one? Was it the accent color? I guess I'm doing text color. All right, we'll just do text color, I guess. Really any one of these colors, but we'll just do this one. So text color. And then the other thing I wanted to do was to make sure that it's the, I'm going to use the title font here. So I'm going to grab my font family just so it sticks out a little bit better. And we'll put that in there too. Okay. So that'll be that. And then the next thing I want to do is also the hover on that. So it's going to be dot, actually, oh no, I got to do it this way. Whoops. Sorry, make sure I'm after that. Dot nav hyphen item, and then dot nav link visited, because we're going to be doing the not visited, sorry, it should be hover. I don't know, I guess that's what popped up. So hover, and then we're going to put the hover color on there. So that let's go ahead and just use the accent color. So Control C, Control V. All right, and that's just going to make it so that if we refresh it, you can see, but now it'll do the other color. So you can play around with these as far as like the colorings are concerned. I'm just trying to make it generally work. So that looks pretty good. But you can see this is not formatted, it's still that blue. So I'm not a real big fan of that. So let's go ahead and fix that as well. So for that one, whereas literally we can just take this whole chunk here, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to grab all of it and hit Shift Tab. That will shift it back over. And instead of nav link, it's going to be nav. Oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. Don't do it like that. We got to write it manually. I thought it was different. So dot nav, oops, nav bar dash brand, and then it's link, and then dot nav bar dash brand dash visited. Okay, and I think I'm going to make these, let's say, you know, maybe I'll just do the same. See, if I was going to do the same colors, I would have just done them up there. Let's do it different just because. Let's do the accent color will be what it is. So we'll do accent color, Control V, and it doesn't need anything beyond that. So, oops, got to take the accent part of it out. Okay, so we'll do that, and then let's just copy that. Control C, Enter, Control V, grab it, Shift Tab. We don't need the second rule here, and I'm going to change link and make it say hover instead. And then we'll, I'm just going to take it and we'll just make it darker. So like that. All right, so now if I save that and refresh, crap, and you'll see now it's got its own color. Yay! Okay. So let's also change the nav bar toggler. So that is, if you remember, that is this thing. Let me pull this side. That's this. See how it's black? Let's just go ahead and make that also the accent color, just so it matches this. So we're just going to go ahead and do dot nav bar hyphen toggler. Boom. And I'm just going to make it the accent color. So we're just going to grab this, Control C, Control V. Okay, I'm just going to collapse this a little bit. All right, and then we'll save that, refresh, and, well, we can't see it. Hang on a second. And voila, yay, so now you see it's the same color. And so those match. I have a really bad color scheme. Anyway, so if you get the idea, so now we've kind of formatted those. Now you can feel free to further adjust them and make them a little bit different. But that way it's, there's some formatting done. And you can change other things about it. More or less, like if you want to make it thicker or thinner, you could just, use the Nav Bar section here. That's the Nav Bar in general. This is to get basically the links, and so on and so forth. Okay, so, but hopefully this is enough of a start for you to format them.